coming to what is the agenda first. What is Amazon Web Services? Now, we know Amazon now, most of you from US or even in India, we have now Amazon.in. So we know that they have the business of the, as a consumer or retail business. Amazon is one of the largest, or rather the largest online retail service provider across the world. Apart from that Amazon.com, they also have the business like a seller business. So as a seller, you can sell your items over there on Amazon. Amazon.in started in that way only. Amazon.in does not have its own warehouse here. It's being sold by the various service provider of India only, because as per we know the FDI laws and everything over there. Not going inside that, we know these two business. And again, these are not the three business. Amazon is having a multiple business. Drone is there, and then there are so many there. But coming to one of the key business which is coming up with Amazon is very powerful, is the Amazon Web Services or Amazon IT infrastructure business. Now, Amazon Web Services are offering in every platform on different segments, I would say. They have the offering for the database, they have the offering for the storage, they have the offering for the analytics, they are offering for the application services, for the deployment and management, they have for the computer networking, and I'll explain each and every service in detail in a while. But one important aspect for me is scalability, elastic pay per user basis. So I kept talking about scalability, I kept talking about massively scalable infrastructure, or rather I use the word massively scalable, right? That I'll come in the next slide. But before that, coming to Cricinfo example. So somebody asked me, well, how would cloud allow me this part? So elastic pay per user infrastructure. So let me try with the Cricinfo example only to explain this thing. This is directly from Amazon website. So you see, this is a blue line, which we consider as an environment available at the Cricinfo level. So when the Cricinfo site was launched, initially they might be catering to 50,000 users. So they might have some environment available here. That's the bottom blue line. Now from 50,000 to they scale up to 3 millions. So when they scale up to 3 millions, I'm sure they might have provision environment which could scale up to, or which could cater up to 6 millions or 7 millions users, considering it can have a load anytime more. Now average usage is at 3 millions, but it can go down also, because sometimes there is no cricket match going, people would not come. Sometimes when there is a World Cup, there would be higher load. For IPL, there might be higher load. So based on that, it may come up and down. After 40 millions, they might be procuring infrastructure, something like the top blue line. Now, their actual usage is something what you see in a red line. So initially when they had an environment like 50,000, the people might be coming like from 20,000 to 10,000 or 30,000, something like that. When it started reaching almost 50,000, they immediately grew up and considered that, okay, in future we will be going to 6 million, let's target 6 million. So they had this middle blue line, but the normal resource usage is much lesser. We can see that, okay, their users are not being optimally utilized, because most of the time infrastructure is idle, not being utilized. They provision for 6 million, but initially they had only 100,000 users. Then it gradually grew up, become to 2 million, 3 million, something over there. Sometimes during World Cup, it might have crossed a little bit to 6 million, 7 millions. Then generally it's almost 3 millions over there. On that fatal day, when it spiked up like this, on the top red line you can see, they could have done nothing. They could not do anything, because when you grow like this, you can't accommodate. Like, so you can't go to the market and immediately procure a servers which can do. And it's a one-day match only. So you can't go to the market, procure this environment, and it will be serving for your requirement. So the shaded green pink part, it shows that that was the failure scenario for them. Now, in that case, if they were using Amazon, that's the yellow line you will see. Amazon provides them offering which can add resources automatically as per requirement. So you can configure that, okay, my CPU utilization is 60%. If it grows 80%, means my load is increased. Add more 50 environments. So we consider the case, suppose this is a yellow line, which is Amazon, so they might have a generally 100 servers running to cater to 3 million users. So each server is about to 30,000 users, something it would be serving over there. Now we consider a case, okay, then when it is running, whenever the load increase above 80%, it would spin up more 100 instance automatically. That part you can configure over that. So when it spins up automatically, it would add more 100 instance. So it can serve more 3 million users immediately. When the load decreases so below 3 million, it says your CPU will come down to 20%, terminate 50 instance. So in that case, the yellow bottom graph which is going down would come in a picture. So in this case, it's a complete automation on demand availability. Whenever required, it will spin up on demand. Whenever not required, it will terminate on demand, everything automatically. So in that case, cloud would be best fit requirement for them. So 3 millions to they can go to 5 million, 6 millions within a few minutes, 6 millions to 12 millions they can go within a few minutes. Then when they're not required, they can come down to normally back to 3 millions requirements. An advantage you see here is when they add 3 millions to 30 millions, it grows up, it will keep on adding more and more infrastructure. Now those added infrastructure would be running only for a day or two when you have a higher load. When you don't have a higher load, it will terminate the infrastructure. In that case, the pay-as-you-go model, and it will be working for you. So it will not use the resources. So it will be working only in case where it will be you are paying only when you are using it. So pay-as-you-go model would give you the opportunity for cost optimization also. So somebody asked me in the early session that how cloud would have helped the Cricinfo. This is the answer to him, that this is the case where it would have worked automatically, spin up, spin down. And how it would work, I'll explain in detail on day 4. Again, it may not exactly fit to the cloud scenario because 3 millions to 45 million is a little unbelievable numbers. And even I'm not sure the cloud would be best fitted to go till that level. It may go, but I would say 3 millions to 20, 30 millions, it can go very easily. It can manage that. So it's a debatable how it manages over there. But coming to that point, cloud gives you the best environment because it's a virtually unlimited resources, massively scalability available, on demand automation would give you optimize cost, resource saving, everything you would be able to achieve. So you would move from the capital expense to operation expense. So somebody who asked me about before, I hope I answered the questions now. Now, as I said, a massively scalable. I use that word repetitively. Why? This is published by Amazon themselves. Even I met one of the Amazon representatives in 2010 in one of the workshop, and he also mentioned the same thing. So I thought to put it over here. In 2002, Amazon was $2.76 billion company. They had a huge number of environment because to sustain a $2.76 billion company which is running its business completely online, I'm sure they would have hundreds or the number of servers available there. What Amazon says, that similar kind of resources, whatever resources were available that time, similar kind of a capacity they are adding to their data center every day. Yes, I'm saying every day. So every day they are increasing their capacity, which can serve one $2.76 billion company. And remember, what your optimization was in the 2002, comparing that, today it's different. So application are more consuming less resources, more performance oriented. So it can serve more resources. So it would be, I believe, it would be able to serve over the $4 billion company also, or the company which would require the resources worth $4 billion over there. So that's the power. That's why I use the word massively scalable, because it's almost virtually unlimited resources. Every day they keep on adding this much amount of capacity. Now, how do you work with the Amazon? Just a second. So you can create your own developer account with Amazon. For that, you need to go to aws.amazon.com. Now you can do two ways. You immediately provide your credit card or skip the step over there. But unless you provide your credit card, Amazon would not allow you to start using your consumer service. So you need to provide your credit card information or debit card information or some prepaid card over there, because Amazon, as we know, is a pay-as-you-go model. So it would charge you as per your usage base only. So you need to provide your payment information, otherwise it would not work for you. So that's why you need to provide a payment information, but don't worry, it will not charge you unless you start consuming it. So, and again, it provides a lot of free usage, which I'll show you how much to use. So don't worry, whatever the assignments we are going to do would be part of the free usage only, and it will not cost you anything. So you would be safe, don't worry about that part. But yes, you need to create your own Amazon account for performing all the examples or services, trainings or the manuals I give you. You have to have your own account. But my responsibility will be, I'll explain you how to achieve the free access so you would not be charged for that. So you start consuming that service and then you manage your resources over there. So the right hand side part, I'll explain that in detail tomorrow. How to declare public keys, how to build and deploy application, how to monitor scale, everything I'll be start explaining in detail from the tomorrow. Your assignment for the day would be, you need to create your own account. You need to create your own Amazon account with your credit card. Again, Amazon would put, you can come back to Amazon would charge you $1, or in India it may charge you 60 rupees as a transaction amount, but generally it does not charge back your bank. So what would happen that when you provide a credit card information, it would show a transaction of $1 or 60 rupees in your credit card statement. So, but Amazon would not ask the amount from the bank. So bank would charge you back that amount. So you would get back that amount. So at the end, it will not cost you. Only thing is to ensure that your credit card is valid and it has a capacity, it would put a charge of $1 60 rupees in your account. Yes, debit card will work, prepaid card will also work. So in India, some people worry about the debit card or credit card. There is a good workaround. You can, if you have a SBI bank account, SBI provides the option to create your virtual card, virtual credit card kind of a case. You can create that. You can create a virtual card of 100 rupees also, and it would work for you. So it would be much more secure. So if you have already an account with Amazon, that's a great thing. I'll explain you how to use the free usage. You do not need to create any new. Yes, if you are using for more than a year, if you are not part of the free usage tier and you want to use the free usage tier, you may need to create a new. If you have created within the last 2-3 months, you don't need to create a new account. Okay. If your account is more than a year older, then you need to think, because it may then cost you, else you do not need to worry. About the free usage tier, I'll explain you in detail tomorrow, since when we start consuming those services. So don't worry, I'll explain that in detail tomorrow about the free usage tier. So as I mentioned that I'll ensure that you will not be charged for anything. Okay. Coming to AWS definitions. So a very important slide for all of you. So when you go to start using Amazon services, these are the key terminologies I'll talk to you day in, day out. So you need to understand this very well. First thing is Amazon Machine Image, or AMI. How many of you know ghost image or ISO image? So continuing on the credit card information, Gaurav has a point that can I use the Indian credit card? Yes, Gaurav, you can use. As I said, it will charge you in INR, and it may include your credit card company would include all the foreign transaction charges. That's completely with your credit card you need to know. Only thing is, initially Amazon would not cost you, it would reverse back the cost of that part. Right? So your Indian card, as I said, your virtual credit card through SBI, your debit card, everything would work. Now, I believe only Prasad knows about this ghost image or ISO image. So giving you a simple example, you procured a laptop or something, or you procured a new desktop from a company. It would come with some setup software DVD also, which when you put inside your machine, it would automatically install the operating system. Along with the operating system, it would also install the required software like browsers, some of the readers, virus scanners. It will do everything for you. Right? So this is like an image of your operating system, which will come with some of the required software. That's what the ISO image. I'm sure you might have heard now the ISO image word called now, or you all might be familiar with this. AMI is a similar concept provided by the Amazon. Amazon provides a concept called Amazon Machine Image, or AMI, which is a bundled or a packaged software application or application package bundled software. It would have content, initial internal content of the operating system, as well as the pre-configured software as part of that. You need to select AMI as per your requirements. So like you need to launch a, you need to get a Windows operating system, you need to get a Linux operating system, SUSE, Red Hat, Fedora, whatever you want to get. You need to get a Fedora with Tomcat, you need to get Fedora with PHP, or you need to get a LAMP stack. You can select the AMI accordingly. When you select an AMI, you can launch an instance out of that. An instance is nothing but a virtual machine available to you. A virtual machine or a virtual server which is accessible over the internet. You will have a full admin rights over there, rather sudo admin rights over there. You can install anything inside that instance. You can configure your own softwares, download that. You would be working as an admin, and you can perform all steps over there. The instance would have the same operating system which is part of the AMI. AMI would be like your setup. So if you see in a little easy analogy, AMI is like a setup. So setup would have a completed package, your operating system, software requirement. And when you install that setup, it would become your desktop environment. Same way here, instance would have a little more things. So it would have a virtual server, which would also you configure that, okay, I need virtual server of 4 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM, 200 GB RAM. You can configure as per the requirements, and it would have that operating system of AMI as well as all the software as part of the AMI would be available to you. So suppose you select the LAMP stack, it would have a Linux operating system, Apache, MySQL, PHP would be installed as part of that. You can create your own AMI also. So like you launch a virtual machine or instance. Now in that instance you install Tomcat, you install your application, you configure all the steps, everything. Then from that you want to make your AMI, you can make your AMI. So in future, when you launch a new instance from your AMI, it would have the Tomcat, your application, everything be part of that. So that's the beauty of Amazon. You can make your own AMI, and from that AMI you can launch your own instance also. And we will see in detail about AMI and instance tomorrow. I'll explain much more about them. But it's very important to understand the concept. What is AMI will do, what is instance will do. Instance is a virtual machine or server. AMI is a bundle package or software available which you can use to launch an instance. Now generally when you launch an instance, the data would be transient. Data would be lost. So in that case, if you want to make the data persistent, you can use the concept called volume. Volume is a plug-and-play device. It's like your USB drive. So we all know we have a portable hard disk. So you can connect a portable hard disk to one of the CPUs. It would have, and you can persist all the data over there. Now you can, it's like a drag and drop device or plug-and-play device. So you, not the plug-and-play device. So you attach to one machine, you'll be able to copy data over there. You remove from that machine, you attach to another machine, you'll be able to copy data over there, and it will provide you persistence. So even if your computer fails, if your data is stored in your portable hard disk, it would be intact. That is the similar concept of volume. Volume is offered through an Amazon service called Elastic Block Storage. It provides you a persistent storage. Volume can be attached to instance as a plug-and-play device. It can be detached and it will be accessible to you. We will see about the EBS also in detail tomorrow. Now, if you have a volume available, you want to create a multiple volume from the same. You want to create a multiple copies of that. You want to take a backup, or you want to make a more secure backup of that part. You can use a concept called snapshot. Snapshot is a backup mechanism of a volume which is helpful to create a multiple volumes from the existing volume. This snapshot is stored in a storage service called Amazon S3. So Amazon S3 is also a storage service like volume only. Volume is also persistent storage, but it is called EBS, while Amazon S3 is a storage service. It is much different than the volume. Amazon S3 is storage only for the internet. It's for the static content only, while volume is more about the file system storage. I'll explain in detail difference between EBS and S3 on day 3 when I explain the S3 part. But coming to today's session, the key terminology we need to understand is AMI is a bundle software. Instance is a virtual server available over the net. To make that the data of the instance or to set up a file system on the instance, you need a volume, which is an EBS volume. to create a multiple volumes from the existing volume, or to make a backup of that volume, you can create a snapshot which would be stored inside a storage called S3. So that's how the complete life cycle of that. So are you all clear with this concept, with this terminology? We will be using that day in, day out, so I thought I'll explain you more detail for today. Yes, volume is kind of a similar to learn only. So, or you can say it's like your portable USB drive. That's the right word to use. Okay, moving on. What are the some of the use cases for the Amazon where it's with, we saw the cloud use cases. Similar use cases like Amazon is best fitted for backup and archive, for application hosting, for media sharing, for the content delivery network, for academic computing. So search engine, lot of use cases are there. And when we progress, we will see some of the use cases, how it would be helpful for different cases. We'll keep on seeing those use cases in a gradual way, or you can also think, these are not the exhaustive list, this is just a sample list available to you.